fans. So today I'm getting started in on my clutch cable install. I was riding the other day and I went to a show, got out of the show, pulled my clutch cable, pop, just snapped. My heart fell and I had a very, very expensive tow job to get home. So, clutch cable maintenance is very important. Now, I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to just kind of tape this one on to the original and fish it through, because it's run directly under the center line of the tank, and there's actually kind of a V shape underneath that the main frame rail goes down. I really don't want to have to take the tank all the way off. I'm going to have to do it eventually. So basically either this will go real easy and I'll get it done tonight, or I'll take the tank all the way off and I'll strip it, get it ready for the show. I'm kind of thinking about doing a bare metal thing. I don't know, I haven't decided. But so, first step here is we are going to need to get some access to the location of the clutch, which as you can see is right down here. There's a little lever on the side of this clutch case here. So first step is going to be remove side panel. Now these are just kind of held in with little plastic tabs. See? Right there. They will break. They always break. It's the saddest thing in the world because nobody makes these. So you either have your original ones, you got lucky and found some, or you just don't have them. Most of the pictures of my bike are on the right side because I lost the one on the left. Actually fell off when I was riding, and my brother the next day noticed it was gone and told me, hey, I found something that looks like it belongs on your bike at work, because he works right off the main drag I went home on. I sped out there, all I got was this. The rest of the thing had all been shattered and was just little tiny shards of plastic across the road. So I might have a clever solution for that. I got a couple ideas, something custom I want to do. Haven't figured that out yet. But all right, so that's now that we've got some access here a little bit. You can see right there, that's where the clutch attachment is. It goes down to this little lever right here that actuates the clutch. It's actually pulling and, you know, together and apart plates inside of here. So first step is to loosen these nuts here to get this free. Most of this really just slides in apart from these nuts. So I'm going to start on that and loosen these. Basically the next step, there's a little retainer here. So you just got to pull the cable up until the chunky part of it is gone. Man, I wish I had more light on this. And you just got to pull it out. Ta-da. Alright, next step, it hooks down here on the little lever. Here's the angle. Right there. See? So all I got to do is give it a little slack and pull it towards me. You just want to work the cable down. I find a screwdriver really good for this one. There we go. So it's kind of hard to see here, but it gets thicker at the end. There's a little hole. It's thicker, and then there's a little thin outlet. So all you got to do is slide it down, and then you can just slide out of the thinner part. All right, so we're loose. That's good. We're almost halfway on this thing. So you may want to have done this earlier, but it's really easy to show right now. You want to make sure that your new and your old equipment matches, particularly at the ends here. As you can see, mine are almost a perfect match for each other. So I'm feeling pretty confident that this is the right cable and that it will work just fine. As you can see, right here is the little retainer clip that this would have stuck into. Goes down into this little lever here, and it feeds up underneath the tank, way up in there. Let's see. I've never actually looked in there before. What do you know? Comes out the front. You can see me tugging on it right now. Goes across the light, and then comes out up on the left there. So let's start feeding the new one. So it's just going to be my torch touch telling you about this one. But there's a little rubber thing here that'll sleeve around. You can just pull it off, you know, not too complicated. Mine's in pretty good shape, so I'm not worried about replacing it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bottom end of this, the new one, and I'm going to literally just duct tape it onto the old one, and I figure I should be able to pull it through that way. To kind of make my life a little bit easier though, the tightest spot on the thing, as far as I can tell, is right here. So, first things first, I am going to, taking care to note where this thing roughly feeds through here. I'm going to pull it out on this side. Alright, so as you can see here, I've taped up the front. Hopefully this will hold. Let's see if we can carefully feed this through here. And a little something. And we're through. Yeah. So that's how you do this without taking your tank off. And you want to make sure you don't snag any hoses or connections underneath there. And I'm going to be double checking after this just to make sure. But I didn't feel any resistance, so I think the front of the bike here, you can see our loose end. And it's got to feed through there. Just barely where you can see daylight on the other side up in there. Cable fed through just fine. It's going to go through this little thing here. So we'll do this top part last because I want more slack to do the bottom. Bottom, simple. That's the little connector there. It's got to go through and then hook up into this little hasp here. See the shape I was talking about on the top there? So first step, you just want to get this nut all the way down off here. There we go. And kind of feed this up in so you can get that. Come on. Right through there. Anyway, I need a free hand, but you get the idea where that's going to go. Part is pretty obvious. This has to pull down and slide in there below the nub. Slid that in there. No problems. You want to make sure not to damage this. If it frays, that's what it'll cause it to fail. And when it got in there, I basically just put these around it and pinched it in. Just your normal needle nose. So on the top side here, you can see this is where our cable's at. And it's going to go right into here. So this plate, this little screw here, holds on this side of it, make sure it doesn't move. And you just get these lined up and slide the cable in there. So first step, just unscrew these out of here. Alright, now that that's done, you can see on the underside here how this works. So the cable actually just slides in here and the round part goes up in there. See? Around there. And if you just offset them, it'll kind of lock it in there. So I forgot something in the middle of this video, because nothing's perfect. But before you go to install the cable up here, before you connect anything, you want to make sure that you slide this rubber little cover here over a head on here, and then just pull it down when you finish. So yeah, sorry about that. Hard to see, but basically, you take the little round part, you stick it in underneath on your lever, and then you pull it in and around. Basically, I just had to loosen the nuts on the other side, but you can kind of see how this comes together now. If you were to just focus, that slides in there and then it goes through here. So I just got to pull it back, and I'm going to have to give it a little force, but it should go in there just fine. There we go. To get it locked in, you just gotta rotate these a little bit. Now these, this is essentially how you adjust the clutch. But as you can see, we got it moving now. That's all very snug as a bug and tight in there. And you can see down here the lever. One of our last steps here, you want to make sure that you've tightened up these bolts together around this clip here. You do not want this coming loose, so just make sure they're nice and snug. Now, there's a little bit of adjustment that goes into getting this all running like properly, but unfortunately, as you can tell from out there, it is nighttime. There are folks sleeping, so I am not going to be doing that tonight, and that'll probably be the end of this video. Well, that about wraps it up. Just one last thing to do for now. Just got to stick this in, make sure you line up your tabs. You want to press directly on the other side of the tabs. From there, wait for a pop. All right, if you've been following along at home, we're all set. Grab yourself a drink, admire your work, and bask in the glory of getting something actually fucking done with your hands.